Every battle's a star show, every match a pure delight. Electric sparks and fiery blaze, trainers shouting a cheer. This is where dreams are made, winning's our quest. Oh dear, Thickies Pokemon League, the best and beautiful league. In the spotlight they gleam, living the Pokemon dream. The Thickies Pokemon League, where the best and the bold. Only beauty can compete, only legends are told. Flashing lights and roaring crowd, in the ring they take their stance. Only pros and beauty queens, here they all get their chance. Thickies Pokemon League, the best and beautiful league. In the spotlight they gleam, living the Pokemon dream. From Bulbasaur to Charizard, strong and stunning and bright. Every battle's a star show, every match a pure delight. Electric sparks and fiery blaze, trainers shouting a cheer. This is where dreams are made, winning's our quest. Oh dear, Thickies Pokemon League, the best and beautiful league. In the spotlight they gleam, living the Pokemon dream. The Thickies Pokemon League, where the best and the bold. Only beauty can compete, only legends are told. Flashing lights and roaring crowd, in the ring they take their stance. Only pros and beauty queens, here they all get their chance. Thickies Pokemon League, the best and beautiful league. In the spotlight they gleam, living the Pokemon dream. From Bulbasaur to Charizard, strong and stunning and bright. Every battle's a star show, every match a pure delight. Electric sparks and fiery blaze, trainers shouting a cheer. This is where dreams are made.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for the long-awaited Thickies Pokemon League podcast. Week 5 is here, and with it, some major roster shakeups. Big trades going down over this 2-week span, and talks are still heating up as we approach the deadline. I'm joined by Machiavelli, fresh off a pinning by one Tommy Tutu 2-0. Machiavelli, how are you?
Yeah.
Doing good. We got some week 5 matchups here. This is the interconference week, so we've got some big ones. What did you think about these interconference matchups that the curator Walrasian seems to have cooked up?
I think he got some, I'm answering a DM. I think he got a lot of good ones on there, Bob. Excited to get the chance to play Staying Safe if he's around. I haven't really seen that guy. You get to see Frizion, Herendi, you versus Dev rematch of a championship match of the other season. Excited to see what MRF does to Tommy Tutu. That's going to be exciting to see. And then, Lily Greedon, always a good one. Swaggy Cyndaquil, he's playing good ball this season. Career high wins already. I think, he's climbing up the charts. Going to be a tough out for Swaggy. I think, Swaggy on the side, been talking to him. He's not having the time he's used to prepare for these matches. But, that's going to be one to watch down there, Mark.
Yeah, things don't slow down in the TPL. Things only get harder. And Cyndaquil keeping up with the pace. 2-2. Yeah. He's nearly top 5 at the moment. Let's see how this week shakes out. He is on a career run, as you said. Big matchups. Don't believe you and Staying Safe have played one another yet. First time. History in the making. What are your thoughts heading into that matchup?
Can't overlook him. Really got to throw records out of the mind here. He's 1-3. If he loses, he's out of playoffs. Desperation mode's there. for sure if he really wants it. It's how bad he wants it. He said a mess today. Everyone's on the trade block, so got guys fighting for spots. Got a tough roster: Caesar, Arkeladon, Iron Moth, the big three over there, and Uxie just setting things up. It's a tough roster to prep for. Just haven't seen the same tech from last season. We saw from him.
Yeah, maybe not quite as locked in. Same could be said for you, but I saw many are saying, in fact.
Yeah, I don't know who said that besides one guy, but we're still playing good ball, we think.
Yeah, not bad. Nobody was saying it was bad ball. It's just that there is such a cluster around that, 2-2.
Yep.
Lot of
Yeah,
competitors
kind of like you last season losing to Greedon and Lily. Just sometimes you got to lose and sometimes someone's got to win. You can't go undefeated if you lose. I think that's something that a lot of people look at in the analytic department.
Yeah, that's a pretty keen insight. But you can win a championship without going undefeated. Important to keep in mind. Winning championships, right. Perhaps something you've forgotten how to do.
I mean, it took you a long time to catch up with Soho, right? I mean, how many seasons to surpass did it take? Let's roll into these matchups. I think the producer is telling me to roll into the matchups, no?
Yeah, I think he is. He's giving me the same signal. Guy's not happy. He's sweating profusely. Had to sit down. Somebody get him a cold towel. Where do you want to start here, Bob?
We'll start Dev and Peckerton over there. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Yeah, what are you thinking there, Bob? We're excited to get Ampapom going here. He's a newcomer, new to the Peckerton squad. Surprised he hasn't made it here yet. He's tailor-made. He's exactly what we're looking for here.
Yeah.
Here in Peckerton. Scrappy guy.
Yeah, I think it's a good week to get Ampapom. I think he matches up pretty nicely in the Devs team. I had him on my team for a little bit there. Good into Greninja, good into Latios, good into Gengar, good into Gliscor. A lot of things that can be done. Dev took a shocking loss, after a hot start. Took down me, took down DP pretty easily, I think, in week one. Coming down to earth a little bit. He took a loss versus Horrendi, only won that one 2-1, although Horrendi's playing better. A lot of good drafts, especially this season, and it's a wide open. I think in whatever the Casalia had to say it. I don't know how to say it. I think this one's going to be tough for you, though. I think his roster poses a threat. It's how you deal with Greninja and not letting it get going. He's got a good roster top to bottom. I think this one has a chance to go 3. I think King Gambit's going to be tough. Although there's the Tauros Blaze on the side to answer that, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna look to get Golduck going early in this series, and he's gonna take the command from there.
Slow King will have an answer for the Duck. He's got a lot of good answers for what you want to do. It's can he get it done? He's a big pregame pooper. Let's see if he can, get that poop out quicker. It took a long time last game.
What the hell's the matter with you, Mister Matt?
I got Peckerton 2-1.
Producer's pissed. A little bit off track there.
Don't see how.
Who you got next, Bob?
MRF 780 versus Tommy Tutu.
Yeah, this one pretty decisively MRF.
Yeah, I got MRF. Tutu won his Super Bowl last week, so he's not going to be as locked in this week. Let's see if he has a lot to say after this one. I think MRF's got a good matchup in this. A lot of things Tutu wants to do. Pretty straightforward team.
He's looked pretty dominant this season.
Who's that?
MRF looking pretty dominant this season.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Pagos is going to be tough. I think Iron Hands will be tough. Even Muck is got some shouts, I think, for in this matchup. Logix has to be careful, of course, with the Moltres. Even Crocodile, I think, poses a decent threat if it's played right into this one. Noivern, I think it looks really interesting here. Just got to keep it away from Comfy too much. I think Zoroark is going to confuse Tommy Tutu. Not a high IQ player, despite his match last week. I just don't see the IQ on the same level as MRF, who's been cooking. Only losses to you, and that came really close. I really can see him 4-0. I got
Quite
MRF
possible.
2-0 here.
Yeah, I think he could easily be undefeated at this point in time.
Yeah.
I got MRF 2-0 here as well. And you just got to think that Terrapagos has stumped most of the competition thus far.
Yeah.
And Tommy Tutu not going to be the one, I think, to figure it out, though he does have the Reggie Eyes on his side. Potentially something there. But Tommy Tutu, I think, like you said, a bit lackluster overall, despite, some flashes of brilliance against maybe inferior competition as of late. Moving on, we've got Herondai and Frisian. This is somewhat of a rivalry match here.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to leave the stage with blows between the eyes and their legs, possibly some bruises in between. I think there's going to be some haymakers thrown, or they're just not going to take it seriously and just have some fun, which isn't a bad thing. I think Frisian did want to beat Tommy Tutu again. Good record head-to-head against that guy, but, sometimes you just got to change it up. I do like to change up. I think this one will be fun. I'm going to go Herondai, 2-1.
Yeah, this could come down to metronome rolls.
Yeah, it just depends on the rolls. I mean, Frisian Hacks hasn't been there lately. And I think Herondai's due. He's come close, right? He 1-2 versus Dev, 1-2 versus DP. Really tough team. I was kind of looking at his team, just in case I got him this week. It's really tough. I mean, one of his better drafts, if not the best draft he's ever had. So, Tornadus could get going here. I think that's something to watch for. I like Herondai here, picking up his win.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this could go either way. It's a toss-up. I can't make a decision on this one. Next up, we've got Limit, Frost DP, and this is another tough one to call.
Yeah, it's what Limit shows up. I think Limit is the most volatile player since Willis a couple seasons ago. It's who shows up. Have been talking to DP on the side, a couple trade talks back and forth. He's looking to shake his roster up. Could this be the last chance for a couple guys to prove? Zamazanta's not moving. Galarian Slowking could move. We're hearing Swampert may be on the way out. You got to watch for guys that want to prove, their roster spots. And I think DP's going to come out with a win. It's going to be tough, though. I think Limit's got a good team. Decent matchup here. Holucha could get going, could be trouble. Zamazanta, after a +2 acrobatics, may get boinked. Gotta watch out for Holucha, man. Here, this is a good matchup for him for sure. Klefki's maybe the only thing saving it from cranking him, maybe like a T-Wave, or something like that. But I just like DP in a head-to-head. Could go to 3 though. I'm gonna go DP 2-1.
Yeah, DP 2-1 seems like a safe bet to me. I just think DP's roster is missing a little something. I think Limit may have the leg up there. He's made that Holucha look good so far this season. And DP, somewhat of a skid, so to speak. Not the normal performance that we're used to seeing from him. I'm going to have to figure it out as these playoffs and this trade deadline fast approaching. Time is running out, folks. And that brings us now to Staying Safe and Machiavelli. And I think this one is closer than it appears.
Yeah.
What do you think about your matchup into Staying Safe, who's on somewhat of a skid of his own?
Like I said, can't overlook him. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I think he's gonna, if he really wants to, it depends on where he's at, headspace wise. I know he's got some school work to be done. Got to lock in. But for what he's sporting, it's really an annoying team to prep for. Uxie really tough. Arkelodon really tough. Blastoise Shell Smash is scary. Just got to be careful about a couple of his guys. I mean, Umbreon is pretty straightforward, but from the whole bench, I mean, Deancey is a interesting piece down there. We saw him bring out some trick room shenanigans. Just watching the tapes, just kind of a really intricate player. He's tough. And I think he's tougher than the record. You're right. He did beat Swaggy 2-1 week 1. Took a game off you, and really I think tough matchup against Lily. So sometimes the numbers lie a little bit in these records. I think Frizion got the benefit of catching him off guard. Um, so yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, I could see myself, losing this one, but I think we got to bounce back with some
Yeah,
urgency.
it didn't
After
take
a
a game
embarrassment
off
last
of
season.
me, Bob. We didn't play. That was a coin
I'm
flip activity there.
sorry, I see the -1 down there. I just see the. I thought it was a 2-1.
Yeah, do the research.
Took a
Well,
game off you in the playoffs though. Bob.
sure did. Bob and Tutu pinned you against the mat, down for 3 seconds and out.
Right, right. You've been alluding to that for a while now. Let's stay on topic, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, we've got Cyndaquil versus Swaggy Boy. And any other time in TPL history, we would not spend much time on this one, but I think this has potential to be another upset.
Yeah, Cyndaquil has been working in the Soho Dojo. We know you got jokes, blah 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 blah, whatever. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think for Swaggy, he's gonna have some problems with this team that Cyndaquil is throwing out there. For what Swaggy wants to do, at least from what he's shown, is set up you and set up Dragonite. Does have a lot of new guys coming in, right? But I think from what he wants to do is get those Dragon Dancers going with some hazards up. Here's the problem. Skeletor's doesn't care about what Dragonite's going to do. He can burn it. It's going to be tough, I think, for Swaggy to muscle through this team. Screamtail's a decent answer as well. Does pick up the Quillfish, though, former Swaggy member. And then Sableye, I think, is something to watch for here. But can Cyndaquil take a game off him? For sure. Will it happen? I don't know. You got to kind of lean history here. Maybe Swaggy does take this one, 2-0, but I could see it going to 3.
Yeah, I think Swaggy's still the favorite, but wouldn't surprise me, like you said, if Cyndaquil is able to pull something off here. And Greedent versus Lily, I think, will be much more interesting.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Greedent did make a big trade, of course, with Soho, Great Tusk, and Ninetales for Exegol and Deoxys Speed going over. So debut for Deoxys Speed in this one. He's got Pelipper now, so Kilowattrel's not going to miss any Hurricanes. But it also, contrarily, I think Jolteon may be able to throw Thunder on. And then Primarita's getting boosted Surf, so you got to be careful of bringing the Pelipper here. Grimmsnarl is somebody that you could bring here as well. Corviknight will defog any screens though, so man, this is a tough one to call. I think he goes 3, but based on what I've seen lately, I'm gonna lean Lily. I think Lily's been overall, I think, a little bit better than Greedent this season.
Yeah, Lily's always a tough opponent for me personally. Greedent, I think his team looks a little better after the trades. And I think he's going to have some momentum. And I think Lily, fresh off a loss, maybe not so much. But this is somewhat of a rivalry match. These two do not like each other.
Yeah, I heard they were fighting over pickles in the lunchroom.
Yeah, definitely happens from time to time. I've got Greedent 2-1 in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Greedent. I'm gonna change my pick. I'm looking at it. I think Deoxys looks good here.
Yeah, and finally we've got Mr. Boy versus Lil Luxio. Lil Luxio, strong performance thus far.
Yeah, I think he's got the benefit of, I think, the matchup so far. Herondai week 1 had a good Garchomp comeback there. Did unfortunately take the loss against Cyndaquil, right? Week 2, manhandled Tommy Tutu, and then he took down Greedent there. So I think his schedule is going to start to heat up, and I think we're really going to see what this team is made of. He's got a really solid team, though, top to bottom. Cinderace, Garchomp, Tickaton, the Pekaron, Milotic's a good pickup he had. Swapped out something for Gardevoir. Forgot what it was, but Gardevoir is a great pickup. Trace is a great ability. And then you can sport a Abomasnow and get screens up, really set up Garchomp here. So, with that being said, tough for Mr. Boy. I feel bad for Mr. Boy. He didn't really get to fully draft his team. I think this is a superbly tough matchup for Mr. Boy as well. I think +2 Garchomp's good into a lot of teams, but I think it's really good versus this team. That being said, I'm going to go Luxio 2-1.
Yeah, I like Luxio here a lot. Based on what we've seen so far from Mr. Boy, Luxio really utilizing that Garchomp well, who again finds itself very near the top of the kill board standings, hot in that MVP race. I think Luxio's really dialed in this season. I think he's the favorite here, probably 2-0. That's going to take us now to some replays. Going to take us now to some replays. And we got Staying Safe. We got Frisian. Something of an upset here.
Yeah, upset to some, upset to none in the Frisian camp. He reportedly was locked in. He said he's going to be locked in until week 8.
Wow.
Oh, there we go. Replay popped up for me. Yeah, I think if you look on Staying Safe side, Rillaboom not really got playing time. He's been going with, the Uxie lead a lot. He leads with Arkelodon here. Like I said, interesting Mon, Arkelodon. A lot of sets can be run. But on this side, I think, Screens is going to be really annoying to deal with for anyone. Does get the benefit of the para there. And then if you look here, the Crow's just going to start spamming body slams and getting paras.
Yeah, big paras there.
Here's where his team gets a little tricky, though, behind Screens. The Deontay. Got to watch out for that thing, man.
Yeah, gotta watch out switching into these body slams, too. I tell you, the paralysis being spread, very threatening. Cyndaquil commenting in the chat that he sees Arkelodon as a staple remover.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the images. I don't know if they're acting up on your screen, man, but there's some Pokemon missing.
What's that now?
Looks like there's I can't see Umbreon on my screen. It's like a clear
Not
box.
sure what's going on there. That's a showdown error.
Yep. Not the TPL production error. That's a showdown error. I think this is the game where he goes to Blastoise, and I think Hydreigon catches him sleeping here. There's the para. That's a good para there. Arkelodon taking damage. So this team's just very annoying. I mean, Uxie with Levitate is just a tough mon. Good play there from Frisian, though. Memento. Psychic does a lot of damage there. Clearly Scarf Lando here. Forcing him out.
Big crit there on the Blastoise at the end to wrap that game up.
Yeah, don't know what's going on with the showdown.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out, Bob.
Yeah, what'd you see that game from Staying Safe side, man? I mean, he's setting up the screens and whatnot.
Yeah, maybe took a little while to get into the action. I mean, you look at that team and, they're somewhat threatening behind screens, but really lacking a little bit of oomph, in my opinion. Blastoise, even at a +2, is going to have a tough time breaking through things like Tentacruel or Snorlax, potentially. So really not all that threatening. Arkelodon can get going, but it's going to take a little while. And really relying on those stamina defense boost to do that. And then Deontay in sort of a similar vein. It can run some threatening setup sets. It takes a while to really reach that level of breaking power that you need to end the game.
Right, it's not super powerful. I mean, I think Max special attack is all right on Deontay. I think it's got decent, but it's not something that's going to really game break without, you setting up a trick room possibly, and like he did previously. But definitely got to stay mindful of it. It is weak to steel. Very, very weak to steel, however.
Yeah, next up we've got Dev versus Cyndaquil. This was not too long ago. This was game 3, in which Cyndaquil gets his second ever TPL victory.
Yeah, I mean, right on paper, I mean, if you're looking at this matchup, Azumarill looks great. I mean, Belly Drum is something that you have to be aware of. For he tried it in game one, and it's something that you do have to watch for. You know, especially if you're in the position where you got Gliscor versus Azumarill. You don't really want to sit there and taunt it because you could lose just, off of liquidation right there. You can lose your Gliscor. And if you switch out to something like a Greninja thinking you're all right, he just can just all of a sudden belly drum get going. And right there off the bat, he scouts out, finds out he's got Ice Beam, goes to Slowking. And then this is where it gets hairy. I think they trade Thunder Waves here. Yeah, they do. What'd you see? Did you watch this game live, Mikey?
Yeah, we sure did.
What were your thoughts on, I think, Dev's approach to this one here?
I think this game really showcased the power of paralysis more so than anything. I mean, you see both players here so intent on getting that paralysis. And just the value of it. And, one free turns in this game, ultimately the strongest form of move possible when you're able to get those free turns. And Thunder Wave and Paralysis creates a lot of them, and it's ultimately what cost Dev here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you can set yourself up, right? And then all of a sudden the game's just going to decide, no, you're not going to move. Didn't really have a loss there. I really would have liked to see the Torch Song right here. Not really sure. I think he was predicting Greninja coming in there. But I think Torch Song was pretty free there into the Gliscor. Would have liked to seen possibly Hex as well on Skeledirge. Hits Gliscor a little bit harder as well. But I think the name is Goopity Doo. And I think Goopity Doo had a great series. The Goodra took over in game 1, I believe. Right here, though, just getting chip damage. But at this point, I thought Dev was in a really good position. But I think Cyndaquil just capitalized on getting that free look in here for Azumarill.
Yeah, that one free turn plus the critical hit on Latios. A lot of things had to go Cyndaquil's way, but ultimately not that many things if you think about it. And that paralysis turn ended up being a very risky turn. But at that point, there really wasn't much else he could do. You had a chance to probably knock out the Azumarill, or at least put it into Sucker Punch range. It didn't click Aqua Jet there, possibly fearful that it wouldn't KO, which was somewhat risky. Ultimately, it didn't matter.
No, he got it disabled. It was disabled.
No, not when it was in versus the King Gambit.
Oh, I was talking about at the end there.
Oh no, I was talking about when he Aqua Jetted the King Gambit. Well, or didn't Aqua Jet the King Gambit, I should say. When it was paralyzed, allowing it to get that Sucker Punch off. And had that paralysis turn not happen, it could have been a very different game. I think Dev was positioned quite well up to that point, but like we were talking about with the paralysis, sometimes that is all it takes.
Right. Yeah, well, one time, I like to build some of my teams. If you have an extra move slot, why not throw Thunder Wave? A lot of Mons do get Thunder Wave randomly. Maybe too many, I think. Maybe Game Freak's got to take a look at that. I think Thunder Wave is one of the most overused moves in the TPL right now. We had last season Maki complaining about it. Too much Thunder Wave for the fans here.
Yeah, I think Paralysis is just so good. It's very low effort as well. It is easy to fit Thunder Wave as a, sort of a fourth move on these draft teams. In a draft format where you do know the opponent's team ahead of time, it is easy to really slot that Thunder Wave in. And it's very important to draft. Right now, you got to draft Paralysis counterplay.
Yeah, I'm throwing it on Mon right now as we speak.
We got Machiavelli versus Tutu here. This is game 1, very close, down to the wire. Tutu does get the best of Machiavelli. This was a really, really fun one to watch.
I'm sure it was, man. There's no better feeling for you, I think, especially watching me lose. So I'm sure you've been having a nice couple days here, man.
Can't complain too much.
I think it started off well.
Definitely,
Um,
definitely put yourself in a winning
just,
position at points here.
just not. I really thought that for some reason, I don't know why I didn't go to Deoxys there. I think losing an Amorous health kind of hurt. Um, I think this was a good move here. You know, I just ran enough calcs, kind of looking at stuff. Close combat would have been good there as well. Just kind of thought he was going to switch into something else, but you know, this is where I kind of went off the tracks a little bit. I think didn't do my homework on Regice as much as I wanted to.
Yeah,
Really prepped for Skarm. Really prepped for low kicks. It's kind of afraid a lot of those things those guys can do. Um, just didn't do the right sets and whatnot. Thunderwave here kind of derailed. I think Deoxys obviously, yeah, right there, boom. Um, yeah, like you're saying, Thunderwave really annoying move. Uh, didn't get both screens up that I wanted, but got one up. But I mean, even right here, I'm in a good position. I think close combat hits a lot of the guys on his team pretty nicely. Just wish I had the light screen up for this situation right here. Would have been a lot easier. Rocky helmet damage. I mean, look how much it's eaten. You know, you're a hater of Houndstone, but I think he did its job for the most part here.
yeah. I think you had yourself in a winning position here at times. Ultimately, um, weren't able to finish it off. You know, sometimes the light's a little too bright on the TPL stage.
Or you just click the wrong move.
Like I said, the light's too
Um,
bright on the TPL
yeah,
stage. You got to hold it together when the moments are big.
yeah, Ogerpon real scary there. Of course, we knew the Trailblaze was coming. Just couldn't do anything about it. Um, at this point, you got to go Houndstone. Houndstone eats a lot of what he wants to do pretty nicely, unless barring like a crit from Cudgel. And then right here, yeah, easy Nightshade, boom. And then Blaziken comes in here. He's gonna protect, get a speed boost. He can't KO from this point, so he's got to set up. Gets a nice burn there, helps him out. Yawn. And then right here, this is a tough. This probably would have helped out a lot. I miss a Wisp. Kind of pissed off about that one. That's the game though. 85%. Feels like 20% most of the time. Gets a Trailblaze. Really would have liked that Wisp spare. Live the Cudgel anyway. EV to live a Cudgel. Poison Jab. Not sure if the burn would have mattered too much, but I'd like to have it. And then right here, I'm just playing around it. Don't know why he did that. It ended up working out anyway, but just at this point, I wanted to get him into Ice Shard range and didn't click the move. I clicked Triple Axle. Just one of those blunders, man.
Yeah, I don't think iShard was on the set.
I got nothing to lie about, man. I don't know what else, what other move you want me to run.
Think you got
Other
pinned,
than,
buddy.
Nah, I had Ice Shard, man.
Got pinned the next game.
Yeah, I didn't play a good game 2, that's for sure. Game 1 I won, though, if I clicked Ice Shard, which sucks. But, you know, rather do that in the regular season, get your goose out, and then lock in the playoffs, right?
That's right. You'll be ready for him in the playoffs, I assume.
Yeah, we hope to see him. He's been yapping way too much.
Yeah, he's a yapper. I think that's about all we got for you tonight.
Oh, we didn't do. We got a couple trades to go over, man. I don't know where you're going.
Man, yeah,
Too
trades?
busy cracking
Wow.
jokes over there, pal.
Wow, let's get to
A lot
those
of-
trades then. Transaction wire. Let's go.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of let's highlight the other guys. Luxio drops Toadscroll, signs Gardevoir. I think that's a good move. Toadscroll, not really somebody who's been reliable spinner wise. Very weak to ice, which is a common move. I think that's a good pickup. Gardevoir adds a little more pop onto his team. Trace is an excellent move. Horrendi switches up Necrozma, wasn't getting the job done. Lycanroc, Midnight being cut. Did not impress at all in the Horrendi camp. Espeon, very good Magic Bouncer. Palmont, Revival Blessing, how you doing? Very good pickups, I think, from both of those guys. Soho made a move with Peckerton, a very rare trade between two hated rivals. Ambipom for Magnezone. Not really sure why Peckerton did that deal to get rid of Magazone. Was playing well, but we'll take him aboard. And then I think the big one, Deoxys Speed and Excadrill for Great Tusk and a Lowland Ninetales. Mikey, thoughts on that one?
Yeah, not sure that really improves either, coach. I think Deoxys Speed is a welcome addition, maybe to Greedent's roster. Not sure what the Ninetales is doing for you at current. Maybe just a comfort pick. Something you're familiar with.
Ninetales was a throw-in, is what I'm hearing from JJ Bigobottoms. It could be on the move on its way out to the Driftvale Conference.
Wow, who in Driftvale is inquiring about Ninetales?
We have to keep that confidential, very close. There's 2 coaches that have asked about Ninetales. We have to keep it very close. I respect the coaches, but Great Tusk is here to stay. He's a very good beneficiary piece right next to Weavile.
Interesting. Yeah.
And then moving on, another trade as well. Swaggy Boy changed up the roster. He wasn't comfortable with his roster. I think Sableye a sneaky good pickup, good spin blocker. It does have the priority status moves, something that is really annoying to play against is a whisk coming at your dome before you even get to move. Sableye goes to Swaggy Town. Rotom Wash for Volcanion, I thought good move about both parties. He wanted a pivot. I wanted a little bit more type versatility. Rotom was not getting the job done in the role I was applying to it. Very, very grateful for its time on the roster. Swaggy Boy does drop Bronzong, regular Rotom, Scrafty, who picked up a little bit of some help there for Mr. Boy at the end of the week, caught him off guard. For Porygon Z, who's been kind of under the radar on the TPL, I think is a very hard hitter. Embor, first time on a roster, and then Quillfish was on Swaggy Boy's roster season. Embor are going to be excited to see if he plays at all. Very cool, shiny. And then Quillfish, the Hisuian form, does get signed by Soho for the Vulpix. And then Greedent made his last moves as well. So Rude and Galarian Moltres did not get the job done. Pelipper and Grimmsnarl, how you doing? Welcome to Greedent Pickle Camp.
Yeah, Grimmsnarl going to replace that Ninetales to a degree.
Right.
But Deoxys Speed already could have done that. And, even Hatterene to an extent. Not really sure what the goal is in Greedent's camp, but the roster does seem better than it was just a week ago.
Yeah, I think both coaches walk away happy from that deal. Soho's still trying to wheel and deal. And Enamorus or Ninetales are looking like they will be dealt. At least one of them will be dealt ahead of the deadline. Big Mikey hearing rumors straight from JJ Bigobottom's office.
Yeah, and several of Peckerton's members also involved in trade talks. Possible blockbuster 4-team deal involving 3 teams in the Castelia Conference and 1 in Driftvale, that being me. So stay tuned for that as well.
We're also hearing Galarian Zapdos is unhappy with the addition of Great Tusk. Both are fighting types. Only one spot in the starting lineup. Will they both start? That's something to look for. Also hearing this broadcast is brought to you by Papa Pickles. Keep popping them. Papa Pickles now has the Peckerton flavor. Extra spicy Papa Pickles.
Big fan of the Papa Pickle. Proud sponsor of the TPL. That it, Bob?
Yep.